Welcome back to the channel, you guys. I hope you're having an excellent day today. In this video, we are expanding upon our affordable guitar series. I've got a whole playlist. I will link to it above, so if you're looking for a specific guitar style or amp style, hopefully it'll be there. I go through the good, the bad, the things that need improvement on all of these affordable guitars. And today, we've got a Strat style guitar. This is from GLARRY. Now in the past, I've looked at their solid body Telecaster style and their thin line Telecaster. This one is the cheapest yet, $75 Strat style guitar. I have not opened this. Let's unbox it together. Here we go. Let's take the top off here. Ooh, and here it is. Okay, so we've got our gig bag inside here. We've got trem bar, we've got cable and adjustment tools, and here is the guitar. Even got a strap on here. Oh, here's the first look. Sunburst Strat. Here we go, let's take a closer look. All right, you guys, so let's start by hitting up some of the main specs of this guitar. Then we'll do some tones. I want to do a mini teardown where I take the pick guard off, check out what kind of pickups are in here, the switches and the wiring and all that kind of stuff, maybe even look in the back cavity. So we'll do all those things, but let's start with the basic specs. So what we have here is a maple neck with a maple fingerboard, which means we don't have the skunk stripe on the back. And I've got to say, the neck profile, super nice. It's a satin neck. Love that, so you don't have any of the high gloss, kind of gloopiness. And overall, yeah, just a nice profile, nice satin finish. So neck looks great. Here is the GLARRY headstock. On the headstock, we've got 6 unbranded, kind of nondescript tuning machines, 2 string trees, and that's the shape of the headstock. Now, as for the body, it's made of basswood and it is insanely light. That's one thing I noted about the other GLARRYs I reviewed. The first thing you note when you pick it up is you're like, that is so light, and it has to do with that basswood. So basswood and maple, and I gotta say the finish on this is really nice. Like the burst from the black and how it transitions, into the other colors. It's really attractive. I mean, this is a very, very affordable guitar, but this thing looks good. And if you see bubbles in here, it's because I haven't removed the plastic on the pick guard. But yeah, that's what the guitar looks like, really nice. And just traditional Strat, right? 3 single coils, 5-way switch, volume and tones. We'll get into that in a second, but that's kind of like a quick look at the body. Now, as for some of the other finer details, let's start by looking at the nut. Now, I've got to say, this is a $75 guitar, and the nut's actually cut pretty good. It matches up nicely on the shoulders, so it doesn't stick on the 6th string or the 1st string side, so that's nice. And the way the nut slots are cut, pretty decent. Now, of course, this is not a boutique guitar. You're not going to have some master luthier, making sure everything is just perfect. It's a $75 guitar, and I have to keep reminding myself that. So that being said, it's cut pretty nice. Now, of course, it is just cheap plastic. You're not going to end up with some sort of high-end nut. But that being said, I've got to say it's pretty good. Now, as for the frets and the fret ends, I'm happy to say there's no sharp frets, and there's no frets kind of sticking out higher on the 6th string or the 1st string, anything that you would notice. So that's nice. And I've got to say, as I mentioned, that satin neck is really beautiful. I love that. So yes, the fret ends, of course, are, there's filing and tooling marks as somebody quickly just kind of evened them all off. Again, when you're talking about a guitar like this, the margins for profit on a $75 guitar have to be razor thin. So, thankfully there's nothing amiss with the frets, but you're not going to end up with, of course, high-end, rounded off frets and that kind of stuff. That being said, the front face of the frets is actually pretty good. I'll take a shot for you guys. That's nicely buffed up and shined up. Now, there's some slight grittiness, not as bad as I've felt on some other models. So happy to say, that'll just play out, or you can buff them out. I've showed you guys how to do that on various other videos. But yeah, there's some slight grittiness, but overall not too bad. So there you go. That's the fretwork and the nut and the smaller details. Let's get into some tones. So I've gone ahead and stretched out the strings on the GLARRY, but nothing else. So this is how the guitar plays straight out of the box. Now, I know sometimes people complain, they're like, Darrell, you take an affordable guitar and put it through these really expensive amps. That's not fair. Well, that's how you get great tones. Spend your money on a great amp, and even affordable guitars will sound fantastic. That being said, I'm going to plug into my stage right head today, a very affordable head with an affordable guitar. Let's see what that combination sounds like. Here are the first tones on the GLARRY. This is the neck pickup. Let's try this thing out. first impressions, from string to string, it is very, very balanced. Sounds really good. Let's try position 4. That's always, you know, kind of a sticking point for strats. It's got a little bit of quack. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, intense, but not bad. Let's try position 3 here. Really bright. Let's compare that to the neck pickup. You know, pretty warm, and then back to that position 3 there. Really nice. Position 2, another quacky one. I always play I think I like that position 2 more than position 4. Let's try that again. Yeah. Back to position 2. Yeah, I think this one has, you know, more of that classic Strat sound on position 2 than position 4. Position 4 just seems slightly maybe too warm, you know, for that classic tone, but so far, you know, all the tones sound great. Let's try that bridge. I decided to use the bar because I was already out of tune, but I'll tune it up with a snark here, and then let's try some overdrive tones. But, you know, first impressions, really nice. Like, it sounds great. I'm not through a super expensive amp, and so far, you know, it sounds like a Strat, and yeah, so far very impressed. So that's a great Strat neck pickup tone. Really, really nice. When you dig in or use your fingers, you know, it sounds nice and, you know, really nice and snappy. And then if you just kind of like lay back a little bit, you know, nice and smooth and throaty. So, you know, pretty impressed. That's the neck pickup. Let's try the bridge. So let's flip over there. I shouldn't have used the bar at the end of the other clip. I'm way out of tune, but you guys can hear, you know, how bright and present that is. Let's try an extended chord here. You know, so really nice and sizzly. I'll tune up and play something else for you guys. So that was the bridge pickup. Let's try position 2. Immediately you can hear it's hum canceling. So that's great. I think position 2 might be my favorite, you know, kind of classic Strat sound. That and the neck pickup sound fantastic. Let's try position 3 here. That's a great tone as well. Position 4. And position 5, we've heard it already. Nice throaty kind of tone. So that's kind of like the basic tones on the GLARRY. I think it sounds great. All right, you guys, now that we've heard some tones, let's take the GLARRY, throw it on the desk, and do a little bit of a mini teardown. We're going to take a look inside in areas that you can't see because, you know, from the exterior, this thing's actually pretty beautiful, but let's take a look at the components on the inside and the overall construction. All right, you guys, I've gone ahead and removed the screws holding the pickguard on and slipped it out from underneath the strings. Let's start by looking at the cavity itself. So the first thing I noted when I removed the pickguard here is it's cut out for a humbucker, which is nice. So if you ever wanted to upgrade and put a humbucker in the neck, you can totally do that. The second thing I noticed was these cutouts are really nice. I've seen kind of wiggles in the routing right along the edges here or here, or, you know, right by the bridge. And this is cut out really clean, so that's awesome. Now the third thing I noted was there's no shielding in here. So, you know, I do find the pickups fairly noisy, especially if you remove your hand off the guitar, even at that low gain when I was using that stage right amp. You know, there's a fair bit of noise. So I think these single coils are pretty noisy even for single coils. So that's the first thing to note. I think they sound really nice, pretty, you know, good fullness and clarity. So I think these pickups actually sound pretty good, but I think they could sound better if a person maybe took some shielding paint, painted in there, or some foil or something. So those are a few things I noted about the cavity. Really clean, really nice, but no shielding. Okay, so let's look at the pickups themselves and the pickguard. All right, so we've seen these before on low-end guitars. These are ceramic magnets, and usually when we have ceramic magnets on here, the pickups are like exceedingly warm, and I didn't find that on this GLARRY. So I don't know, I'm assuming these are 500K pots. I can't quite see. I'll take a close-up shot. Maybe we can find something. It looks like it maybe says 16K series. Not sure. Anyway, most low-end guitars like this are unbranded pots, so these are some sort of brand, but they are small dime-sized pots and just basic wiring on the switch. A little bit of shielding just where the, you know, the controls go in, but that's about it. So overall, I mean, everything, it's zip tied and stuff, about what you could expect. Again, you know, they got to be getting these pots and switches and pickups for, you know, pennies a piece kind of thing if they're going to make money on a $75 guitar. But overall, you know, nothing crazy about it. Looks really good. So let's flip it over and take a look at the trim system. So here's a look into the back cavity, and I've got to say, it's pretty nice. It's painted in there. We've got our claw with the ground wire from the front, so that's great. 3 springs and the block. Now, when we take a closer look at the block, I've got to say, I've seen much, much worse on low-end guitars. This one is not really rough cast at all. I've seen some where, you know, it practically looks like it's crumbling. This one's smooth. It's not the biggest, thickest block in the world, but it actually looks pretty nice. All right, you guys, so here are my final thoughts on the GLARRY. Well, for $75, this is a no-brainer. Let's just get that out of the way. This is a great guitar for $75, and there's nothing on it that would remotely, you know, turn me off getting this for $75. Let's just get that out of the way. Now, of course, there's some things on it that I would fix, namely the action's too high, the intonation wasn't set correctly, you know, but I wanted to kind of take you guys along with me as I had that first experience, unboxing and playing it. So I have a whole series, I think it's called Make Your Cheap Guitar Play Like $1,000,000. If you want, you know, to take a guitar like this and actually get it playing and sounding, you know, much better than stock, check out that series. But anyway, yeah, I mean, there's no obvious flaws on this guitar. The finish looks fantastic. I would say the pickups are a little noisy, as I mentioned in the teardown section. That's, you know, my main criticism, I think, compared to like something like a Mexican Fender or even a Squier. I think they're a little quieter. These pickups I do think sound nice, but they are noisy. So that would be my main thing. Some work would need to be done on this trim to get it to, you know, be reliable so that you could use it. Again, check out that series. I go through all of that as well. But yeah, the neck, super nice. Here's a shot of the back of the headstock. There's nothing on there, just very, very clean. But yeah, overall, you know, this is a really good guitar, and you also get a case, well, like a dust cover, I call them because they're so thin, but a gig bag, you know, a strap, a cable, some picks and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know how they can do it. But anyway, this is the GLARRY. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, I wish I could say some more bad things about it because, you know, you sort of figure I should say something worse about a $75 guitar. But you guys saw, you know, there's no editing or whatever. I just simply plugged it in and played it for you guys, and it sounds good. So anyway, those are my final thoughts. if you don't have a Strat style guitar, if you don't have a backup guitar, if you don't have a first guitar, something like this might fit the bill. It's light, it's ergonomic, sounds great. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys enjoy this affordable guitar series, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Link to the guitar in the video description below. T-shirt store, tab store, all the gear I use is down there as well. Other than that, have yourself a great day.